What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel. We're online at www.whatsupinthesky.com. And this is a Lunar Orbiter 4 picture. This is, I think, slide, what was our frame 74074. You can get it here. Download the, I'm going to go ahead and link this up here. This is the high resolution one, the TIFF file. And these are pretty neat how they were laid out in strips. I mean, you can see how, let me back it up just a tad here. You can see how the strips are laid out, one next to each other there, and it gives really good resolution of the surface of the moon here. Now, what I caught about this one, this one, I've stared at this stuff for probably a week before I've decided to make this video and say, you know what, I'm gonna toss it up to you guys. Notice these white strips that run across this. It almost looks like contrails. Like if you're looking at them from above, and you're looking for like Google Earth, you can find them on there, and they're all over just this one picture. I haven't seen these anywhere else. Now, what look like contrails, when you get zoom in closer, kind of look like plateaus as well. It kind of takes that illusion away. So I want to know what you guys think. If this is an optical illusion, they're all over here. And what I'm thinking here is the shadow, the dark part, would be, let's see here, would be this part, would be here. And whatever the lay of the land is, you know how shadows can look different because of the lay of land. Um, and here would be another one. It just seems like that would be the case. But then again, when you get up really close on it, it looks like they're plateaus. Like that might just be shading. And they're like these thin canals that run through there, this area. Um, but what's weird is it's not on anything else. So we either have something flying across the surface making these, or some sort of phenomenon we don't know about, maybe gassing or outgassing or something that we've never been told about. Um, I'm just not 100% sure, so I want to leave that one up to you guys. Let me and see how it looks like the same here. But then again, when you zoom in, it almost looks like it's like a plateau, like it's been built up around it. And I just been boggling my mind here because some craters look like perfect domes, and some look like don't. You know, I just don't understand what makes. And the ones that don't usually have other ones that the similar size right around where they are. And it just to me, I'm starting to think. You know, I've always wondered this: what really is there? Is there civilization that obviously if something was technology, like, well, not obviously because we don't know what other life forms, maybe other life forms don't have to breathe anything. Maybe they don't breathe at all, maybe they function some other way, maybe they live through some other nutrients. Who knows how something have evolved somewhere else or been designed somewhere else for all we know. But we get like this next to this, and they don't look like impact craters. Now I tell you, now this does. Check this one out over here. This is an interesting one. This is just, I don't know what to say about this. There's all sorts of geometry in here. It's at the top here, what looks to be, I keep going back to this and saying, gosh, that looks like some sort of little alien ship or something like that, or something that's perfect. It's cut. See how it's caught in both film strips here, and it looks different than anything around it. And the fact that it's got like the smooth top here, like see how it comes up and it's smooth, you can see that smooth shadow, um, makes me think, well, you're looking at something that's like a smooth. If you look at a rock, if it's polished, it looks polished. That's what I'm getting at. But let me see if we can adjust some of this stuff here. Because when I was playing with this before, I was like, what is that thing? I don't know. I'm sure other people have noticed. I think this. I grabbed this original link pictures from Maurice and those guys over at the Moon Anomalies page, the Lunatic Moon Anomalies. They've got so many stuff. Facebook's got a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna try and get some of these guys to post their stuff to my website as well. I got a lot of people posting to my website. So stuff's starting to take off. I swear. Come on over to whatsupinthesky.com. Sign up for a account, and we can discuss in our forums there. We can discuss on the things there. We don't have to file it per video. One thing about here, I love the comments but it's hard to do a lot of back and forth. After we comment back and forth a couple of times, the threads just kind of die off. When some of them deserve to keep going and going. So, but see this up here. Here's what I'm looking at right here. This just area right here. In the front of it seems to have what just kind of looks like some pixelization up there. You can't tell, but it kind of looks like it has a little bit of a wave to it. But that's just looking through here. And also in the middle here, there's got some interesting things here. They just kind of look like land bridges from place to place. Where's the other spot that we saw here? These look like they go down. These are impressions. You could tell they are. This looks like this was probably, this is the flat where the moon surface is, and it looks like it goes down. But some of the stuff looks to be taken, various shapes. Kind of look to be cut out, carved out. The number 3 comes up here a lot on this. Let me do something here. Let me just do the overall exposure. Check the gamma up a little bit. There's the 1. No, there we go. Even then, when you see that, there's more of what, see, there's even more of these that were darker. You couldn't really see with it as light as they were. These right here, um, they come down. And where they stop, they seem to stop. Now, does that mean, what could cause that? I'm really interested to see what you guys think, if those look like they're in the air to you, if not. Because they seem to follow the same exact pattern. The only time they stray off is where, they're basically the lay of the land below could be why it does. But here there's like a break in this one, but there isn't really a break up there. So optical illusion. Is there something up there in the air causing that, or is that an optical illusion? That's the first one I love about this one. And like I said, this is where having this group of subscribers is awesome, because I can make a video and ask you guys and say, hey, do I need to look at this further, and do we need to go further into this type of thing or not? Now there was also an area that seemed kind of, where'd it go? It was like a straight up square. It looked like it was, I think it was off just kind of in the middle of one of these. Maybe not. Of course, when you don't mark this stuff before you start your videos like a professional, like the professional I am over here at What's Up in the Sky.com. Here we go. This right here. This is interesting to me. This tell me this doesn't look like something that doesn't belong there. Um, and it goes through 2 different film strips, so it's absolutely there. Another thing I want to talk about is just on the moon, these 2 like almost exact size dome type shapes that show up places. Then they show up sometimes in rings, like they look, are not in rings but in lines with more than 1 or 2 of them. Here they've got them very small. Um, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. What would the odds be that that same size impact crater was made just in that area? But if you look over here, they seem to be a different size. More and more I start to wonder. This one up here's got a little Pac-Man shape to it, but we're gonna mess with this a little bit right there. Let's just do auto and see what starts coming out. See here, ooh, this thing looks like a pipeline. It's up in the air, and even under it seems to have a little bit of a shadow to it, similar to the things above. Um, it's in a weird type pattern here. Let's see if we can do better than this. Edit, step backwards, image. We'll just do auto contrast. Then let's do exposure. That's gonna help at all. No, I was just trying to sharpen it up a tad. But see it there? I mean, it looks like it just takes on the straight line there. It just comes perfectly straight across. Here, it looks like it's held up by these little dome type things, or a little circle or something. And once again, could that just be something in the picture, something along these lines? It just looks like it's on the surface, whatever it is. It definitely looked to stand out to me compared to the other things. Up here was some interesting stuff here. See how these kind of just J and S shape around? But alright, let's see here. I've got so many pictures from Mars. I had to get off Mars for one video. So I'm going to do some more space news coming up here soon. I've got, this weekend was real busy. I took my friend Christina down to um, Washington, D.C. She's here from Russia. She's only here for a little bit longer, so I had a little bit of time to get this. She's been staying with us. She's like a here on work study program, and she's only here for another month. So I took her down there, showed her D.C., took all sorts of pictures. I got a picture of me next to the rover, which next to it kind of gives me a better idea, especially looking at both of them. I saw the life-size Opportunity and the life-size Curiosity. Gives me a better view of kind of the perspective of the pictures being taken just by standing next to it. I mean, you can see people on TV or where they stand next to it, the other way, but to actually do it is pretty cool. And they've got that on display at the Air and Space Museum down in Washington, D.C. So I know you guys, I got people on here, some of the best subscribers, you're probably looking at this stuff and saying, whoa, he's just missing that right here, or this right here. This picture has been looked over a bunch of different times by the guys on, like I said, the guys over there on Facebook. I'll try to remember to link them up below. There's going to be a link to this shot right here, as well as this whole, all three of these are interesting, but I don't see this in the other three pictures, and I don't see it on many of them. So I'm really interested to know. Do you think it's a see? It goes across this dark spot here. Like that's what makes me think maybe this is something up in the air. Maybe there's something flying across, leaving contrails. Who knows? Not that necessarily it shouldn't be able to leave contrails in the vacuum of space or whatever, however it is, but then you got the two, like I said, you get these little, so like I said, these dots, and like 1, 2, 3, 4, right there in a row, and then 1, 2, and they just seem to be, I don't know. To me, the randomness is they're random, but you think you'd have not as much conformity, and this not just necessarily on this picture, but there's so many more if you look at my other moon ones. And but one more time before I leave, I just want to hit this one up real quick just to see what this looks like, and do image auto contrast. See it's definitely very interesting. Up and around, down, comes up and over. I don't know, guys. So, what's up in the sky 37? Wanted to get off Mars for a little bit. We're heading back to it because the sols have been coming down rock and roll. So we got to get to them. I know. All sorts of good stuff going on. A lot of good research going on my buddy's channels. Check out if you go to them, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. All sorts of good stuff we're going to be coming up with. But check out my buddy's channels too. Go give them some love. If you just hit channels, I support or whatever, it's like channels on my main tab. You can get to it. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful one. Peace.